think it's better for sound to keep the door closed. I'm Susanna Taylor. I am a beauty and wellbeing editor and have been for way too long. And I just wanted to introduce you to Dr. Georgia Grisotto, who is from Clinique La Prairie, an amazing longevity and wellbeing clinic. And yeah, maybe if you could just introduce yourself and tell us exactly what you do at Clinique La Prairie.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today here. I am actually Georgia, and I'm a nutritionist at Clinique La Prairie. I work, of course, in a clinical file, with patients at the clinic, but also I'm a health science specialist and nutritional specialist. I work for, the science part of the clinic and even for the holistic health longevity supplements. So, yeah.
Hi. And so today we're going to be talking about longevity and the key elements that that help us live longer, because longevity is a buzzword, isn't it, at the moment? Such a buzzword in the world of well-being. But it's something that Clinique La Prairie have been looking at for years and years. What for you are the vital elements that help us live a longer, healthier life?
Yes, actually, Clinique La Prairie has been studying longevity for many, many years. Everything started in 1931 with the Swiss doctor Paul Hans invented and developed the cellular therapy to slow down the aging mechanism. And that's something that actually nowadays our clinic is trying to carry on with, of course, new technologies, new knowledge, new devices, but the concept is still the same. And when we talk about longevity is a very complex topic because we have to take into account the health span and the lifespan. It's not just the quantity, but even the quality of our life. And that's because of the complexity, I think we should take into account, not just the nutritional part, not just the movement part, the medical, but even the well-being part. And when we talk about well-being, I mean mental well-being even, the emotions, the internal rhythm, and even the sleep quality. So that's actually why the quality of our sleep is so fundamental, and the circadian rhythm is so fundamental for our general health.
And you're just talking about circadian rhythms there. So obviously, people probably know about our circadian rhythms, but just for anyone that doesn't, what are our circadian rhythms and how important are they in our quest for living a longer, healthier life?
I would say it's fundamental because it's actually the circadian rhythm refers to internal biological clock, and it follows approximately 24 hours pattern, and it's it's synchronized with the external environment, and many physiological pathways in our body can be affected by the circadian rhythm, like the cell growth, like the immune system, the mitochondrial functions, and so on. And at the same time, the circadian rhythm can be affected by different factors, like the sun exposure, the light exposure, stress, genetic predisposition. We have hormones fluctuations. We have age. So many different factors. And we know that sleep plays an important role in our circadian rhythm.
And are there particular things that we should be doing to keep our circadian rhythms in check? Like, because people talk about our phones, for example, that are throwing they might be throwing our circadian rhythms out of whack. Are there particular things that we're doing wrong that we should be doing right?
Of course. I mean, there are many different things can be actually adjusted, I would say. Like the light blue screen, it's definitely an enemy when we talk about circadian rhythm. Even, like nutrition, the nutritional part plays an important role. Like, for instance, we should avoid some particular foods before going to sleep or in the afternoon because it can affect negatively our sleep quality, for instance, and the circadian rhythm. So the neurotransmitter productions in our body. But it's not just, even, the stress, the jet lag, the work schedule, and all these kind of stressor factors can negatively influence and destroy our internal circadian rhythm. So yeah, different, let's say, factors.
Yeah. The light is a very important thing in our circadian rhythms, isn't it? Getting the light in the daylight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the light and the sun exposure, but even, you know, the screen, the light from our iPhones and so on, so can affect the circadian rhythm because, you know, the sun exposure, for instance, can affect the production of melatonin.
Yeah.
So, and usually, naturally, our body start producing melatonin in the afternoon because high level of melatonin can actually support our sleep. So our body is a perfect machine. So with the light blue exposure, like the screen or the computer, the laptop and so on, we can destroy this perfect mechanism. So yeah, so the sun exposure is important. The light blue screen exposure, it's at the same time important, but with negative effect. Doing physical activity in the evening can actually affect our sleep quality as well. So, and the circadian rhythm. So there are many, many factors to be involved. Yeah.
It's complex.
It's super complex, yeah.
And what about sleep? Like, how important is our sleep in helping us live longer and healthier? It's vital, isn't it?
Well, we actually spend a lot of time sleeping, so it's a very important, fundamental part of our life. Sleep is having a very high quality sleep. It's actually can protect our brain, our heart, our actually immune system, general health. Sleep deprivation, it's very well known, linked to physiological conditions. We can gain weight. We have higher risk to develop diabetes, cardiovascular diseases. We can actually even develop some, talking about long-term effect, we can actually affect our we can promote neurodegenerative diseases or chronic conditions. So, and absolutely, actually, sleep deprivation is linked even to, you know, our social life, mood swings, emotions, lack of concentration, memory, poor concentration, poor memory, so poor dynamism. So it's definitely, it plays an important role on our general health, let's say, our life.
And not many people, everyone sort of thinks about sleep as a sort of a separate entity, and we just need to be able to sleep. But what not many people realise is that what we eat is very important in our quality of sleep. Are there particular things that we should be eating, or a way that we should be eating that can influence our sleep?
Yeah, I would say, as I said previously, our body is a perfect machine. It means that in the morning we used to produce different neurotransmitters, actually that give us energy, dynamism, concentration, because we have to start well our day, you know? So perfect. In the afternoon, evening, the same story. Especially we start producing serotonin, melatonin, GABA, aminobutyric acid. So what does it mean? In order to build up this kind of neurotransmitters, we have to provide to our body the right precursor. And we can provide such precursor through the food. For instance, we have, the serotonin actually can be built up with the L-tryptophan. And the tryptophan is based, the food source are actually eggs, nuts, seeds. So that's fundamental, having animal-like proteins in the evening in order to support the production of tryptophan. At the same time, you have the glutamic acid for the GABA aminobutyric acid, that actually it's another important neurotransmitter for having calming effect, a relaxing effect. So
when you talk about GABA, what do you mean by that? Just for anyone that doesn't understand.
It's a neurotransmitter that actually fundamental for sleeping, and even for that, as a precursor, we have the glutamic acid. And actually, again, here we have the eggs, we have some green vegetables, we have nuts in particular. So there are some particular foods that can support the production of important neurotransmitters. Some dietary pattern like Mediterranean diet, plant-based diet rich in omega-3, we know, scientifically speaking, they can support our sleep quality. And of course, there are some, even a list of food items to be avoided, especially in the afternoon and evening, especially if we have some sleep disorders, like spicy food, high processed food, sugar, any kind of sugar, honey included. We have like coffee, tea, chocolate. So all these kind of ingredients can kind of stimulate our brain, and we would like to have exactly the opposite effect.
And so there are so many diets in the world. Because I work in wellbeing, there's so many different ways of eating. Some people advocate eating an Ayurvedic lifestyle. Some people talk about keto diets. Some people talk about, paleo diets. But people always come back to the Mediterranean diet. I think that's probably the closest to what I eat. What do you guys promote at Clinique La Prairie? What do you think is the best best plan of eating for longevity, as it were?
Well, that's actually a very common question. I mean, it's a very good question, because I think there are a lot of confusion about that. When we talk about which kind of diet suits better with, in this case, with the sleep quality and so on, I think we should go back to the science. Because there are many informations around. You can Google it and you find different stuff, different information, opposite information. And I think that science can give us the right answer. The Mediterranean diet has been studied for 20 years. We have a quite solid scientific evidences, The intermittent fasting has been studied again for many years. So I would say that what actually we follow at Clinique La Prairie is basically a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
It's not vegan, it's not vegetarian. It's actually a diet based mainly on vegetables and fruits as antioxidant. We also include animal protein, but with a very low inflammatory, let's say, effect on our body. It means like white meat, fish, seafood, even eggs. But we don't have any kind of red meat. We don't have sugar. We don't have alcohol. So it's kind of, there is a rank, inflammatory rank, and we try to avoid the most inflammatory ingredients in our clinic. But it's a plant-based diet. It's a very strong anti-inflammatory, antioxidant approach, I would say. Whole grains products, so yeah.
And when you talk about anti-inflammatory, is that the key at Clinique La Prairie to, prevent disease, I guess, and help us live longer, is to keep inflammation low?
Low, yeah. This is the key.
Yeah.
Definitely is the key.
Is that one of your main focuses?
Yeah. Actually, it's slow down to as much as possible the inflammation in our body, the oxidative stress that is linked to the inflammation, and at the same time to boost our immune system. We can do it through the foods. We have the fermented food. They are strong friend of our body, and especially our gut, because 70% of our gut is of our immune system is on our intestinal wall. So it's quite 70% is a lot. It means that whatever we eat can influence negatively or positively our immune system. And not just the immune system, because there are many studies ongoing reporting the link between the gut microbiota and even depression, mood swings, and so on. So it's quite a very wide topic, but so inflammation and immune system, I would say that they are the main topic, and how to fight, or not to fight, but to slow down the aging mechanisms in our body. And that's actually what we do at Clinique La Prairie. Working on several pillars, not just the nutrition, but medical, well-being, and movement, we can actually improve the general health status of our clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but you guys, just talking of sleep, you guys actually have an amazing supplement brand called Holistic Health.
Yeah. And
you have actually just brought out a sleep supplement. There's so many supplements that are out there in I always say that the supplement industry is a bit like the Wild West, because there's so many supplements. And I'm very careful about what I take because I just think there are a lot of charlatans out there. What makes your supplements amazing? I'm sure they're amazing because you guys have got so much research behind you and so much scientific evidence. And what goes into them and what makes them amazing?
I think you said the keywords. It's like science.
Yeah.
We are 100% science-based. Our supplements are actually the result of 4 years of research. It's quite a long time. And it's actually has been a very strong collaboration with expertise from all around the world, different scientific fields. So it's quite intense work behind. And of course, the quality of the ingredients. So definitely the phytochemical profile is very high. Everything is Swiss made. So, and we know that Switzerland is one of the strictest country when we talk about regulation, and especially food supplements regulation. So that's a plus. And we used a lot of patent ingredients in, and we know that patent ingredients. Yes, and we know that actually have been clinical trials on humans. So that's a plus because of course not by us but from other labs. And the formulation, what we call 3 layers of technology, it's quite complex. Yeah. It's not just 3-4 ingredients in, but it's a very long list of the ingredients. We have for each formulation at least more than 10 plant extract. That's quite a lot. And talking about rest and reset, the formulation is quite powerful because we have like the tryptophan, and as I was mentioning before, the tryptophan is a very important precursor for some neurotransmitter production. So this is the first. Then we have the passion flower. We have valerian extract that has been even recognized from the Food and Drug Administration. So we have really a lot of plant extract that they scientifically we know that they work synergistically, and they can provide a relaxing and calming effect. We also get a lot of feedback from our guests, and so with positive feedback. So it's quite really to calm down our mind and consequently even our body to promote a better sleep and a better general health for our body.
And are they something that you take at night, or is it something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 2 pills.
Yeah.
It's the treatment lasts 2 months.
Okay, I was going to say, is it an ongoing course?
Yeah.
Or is it,
Yeah, absolutely. It's ongoing, actually, treatments, if you want to call it treatments. So definitely whenever you need it. So we recommend actually to continue the treatments, of course. Even though after 2 weeks you feel already better, you can sleep better and whatever, I wouldn't recommend to stop the treatments. So just keep taking the supplements till the end, the 2 months of treatments completely. And you can actually continue even later, according with how you feel, the feedback of your body and so on. But usually it's a long-term treatment because we are talking about longevity supplements. They are not just they are not generic supplements that actually cure nutritional deficiencies like vitamin B12 or so on, but they are a preventive treatment. In this case, actually, we have a specific focus on the sleep, calming effect, but also we have to keep in mind that all our supplements, they work deeply on the inflammatory status and the oxidative stress. So in any case, we are 100% sure about this kind of by default security, effect on our body. So anti-inflammatory approach plus, in this case, we rest and reset. We have a focus on the sleep and calming effect.
Okay. There are other supplements in the range, though, aren't there? It's been out for a few years. Yeah. What are the other supplements?
So actually, we have AG5, that is our gold standard supplements. It's really powerful because we have 2 steps daily routine. It's like one formulation for the morning and one formulation for the evening, and it works very in depth when we talk about the DNA protection. And it's a booster for the immune system that is specifically the first formulation that you take in the morning. And the second one is for the cellular protection. So it works deeply on the cellular protection effect to fight the oxidative stress. Then we have the purity. Purity, actually, it's a booster for our liver and kidneys. That actually they're the two organs more involved when we talk about purification of our body. And I think all of us, we need it. So even though we pay attention on what we eat, our lifestyle, what we drink, but we cannot control actually everything. We cannot control the quality of the air that we breathe. We cannot actually control the stress level in our body. So, and all those factors can actually contribute to increase the oxidation and inflammation in our body. So with purity, we can rid off from our body heavy metals, toxins. So we have a very strong formulation with natural chelator in order to link and to clean up the body from those harmful, let's say, substances. And then we have energy. Energy has been formulated to boost your mental and physical performance. Doesn't create any kind of addiction. So we don't, it's totally sugar-free. It's not like other like super drink or something like that. Nope. It's really, it works using the plants in order to improve your concentration, memory, but we also have the L-arginine, that is an amino acid that it works very well for the oxygen supply. So it's very well known among the athletes in order to support the physical performance as well. So yeah, we have different ranges, and then of course rest and reset for sleeping and internal homeostasis, especially for people with jet lag, who travels a lot. So it's highly recommended to rebalance the internal rhythm. Yeah.
Amazing. They sound absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's really a good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any questions anyone would like to ask? Yes.
I just have a quick question when you were talking about the purity one.
Yeah.
Is this something you would recommend, for example, for people who have gone through cancer treatments?
After.
After.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
After is highly recommended. So that's actually something that for all the antibiotics, the medicine, the drugs they used to take after.
But why not during?
Because in some we don't want to interfere. Yeah. So, I mean, we are talking about plants. We are talking about nothing, But in any case, we really just want to be 100% sure that the medications or the plants doesn't affect the medications treatment. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, Lady Eva?
Can these supplements be taken together? Can you combine different supplements?
Yeah, actually, the formulation and the concentration has been formulated in order to be combined. Ideally, you can take some clients at the clinic. They used to take everything together. Personally speaking, I prefer to personalize as much as possible the treatments, because AG5 by default I would recommend to everyone because it's really anti-inflammatory, strong anti-inflammatory treatment. But with AG5, combining AG5 with purity, energy, or rest and reset really depends by your needs. But yes, ideally you could actually combine all together without side effects. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Just one quick question about
Yeah.
purity. A lot of the things that take heavy metals out of the body also take, nutrients and different things with it too. Does purity do that as well, or is it just on the toxin side?
It's a toxin because we have natural chelator. I mean, like the chlorella, it's one of the main ingredients we have in. It's a natural chelator, and it can bind, like in a very selective way, the heavy metals. So that's actually why we don't risk to remove even the nutrients. But that's a good point because it's like some drugs. They are very general selector, but this one is it's very specific. Yeah.
Do you think, just a quick question, do you think that we are, there seems to be a lot of talk about that we absorb currently in our modern world, so many chemicals, and do you think that's a problem for our health?
Yeah, especially because maybe you cannot see the result in a short period of time, but a long term, yes. It's the accumulation that actually after many years can actually become like a chronic condition, chronic disease. So, and it's very silent. And we are surrounded because, again, if you buy organic, it's fine, but still the pesticides, the soil, the quality of the soil, the air, as we said before, the stress, we cannot control that, and we accumulate, and suddenly something happens. So we have actually the clinic very nice experience. People who with very bad lifestyle coming at the clinic with very strong joint pain or so whatever, and after only 1 week of treatments, they say, listen, this morning I didn't get my painkiller anymore, so I just get up and I feel totally good. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, because you know the theory, but then you see that the practical, I mean, the reality is quite...
it works.
Yeah, it's fascinating because you're even more motivated to say, well, this is the right path, the direction. So, the inflammation, especially the chronic inflammation, we can keep it under control. Maybe we cannot fight the chronic inflammation completely, but definitely we can keep it under control. It's possible. And we have a lot of science behind, evidences. So, it's not words in the air or something.
Amazing. And if anyone wants to hear any more information about Clinique La Prairie, you have a stand just around, literally around here, around the corner, and you're going to be there for the rest of the day.
Of course.
You're going to be there for the rest of the day, so these guys are here, so you can go and chat and find out more about the supplements. And,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.